When?
Wah, wah,
When? When?
wah.
Alrighty. When? Okay. Alright. So, recording in three, two, one.
Wah.
We're good?
Yep.
When? Okay. Alright. So, hello everyone. What's up everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Emerald Lions. This is like the 59th episode. Um, to get into what happened on the last episode, someone go
Is
ahead
your
and take it away
microphone
from
okay, or is it my speaker headphones? You have a bit of static.
That would be their
Static?
mic.
Okay, 1 second. I'll be right back. 1 second.
We went into the land of kobolds, and I have yet to ask about blasting powder.
No, not since the last checkpoint, no.
I shall be asking about that.
Oh, wait, do you need someone to stream the map?
Oh, sorry, I'm just doing something else a moment while I wait. Yes, that
I
would be
am.
very much
Ah,
appreciated. Thank
welcome
you.
back. You completely
hello.
missed us not talking about blasting powder.
Squint. So anyway, everyone. So yeah, what happened last time?
We went into kobold land, and I have yet to inquire about blasting powder.
Okay. You'll still went through the rocky throes of the mountain pass. Right before the cavern that you guys are looking at right now.
Blue
Actually,
gems make
let me just switch.
dragonborns go crazy, and I tried negotiation.
It's called
It-
lyrium, my friend.
As far as we know, we probably did not succeed.
Mm, okay.
I tried, okay?
And
Hey,
and
you can't fault me for trying.
there was also Berserk Dragonborn that basically attacked stuff. But everyone just saved the day. So
Yep.
yeah, and now you are in a cavern system of some sort, and alright.
Yep, we were in the caverns, and then we noticed that there was two Dragon Balls, unfortunately laying waste to a bunch of other kobolds, and I guess one or two Dragon Balls that wasn't there. But, with some soothing sounds and the promise of some chocolate croissants that doesn't exist, we managed to calm them both down.
Mm-hmm.
We managed to calm them down, and we gathered some information and found out that there's some crystals here that can cause certain dragonborns to act not normal.
Yeah.
In this particular case,
Okay.
these were red dragonborn, correct?
Yep.
Yeah. Most
Yeah,
likely, yeah.
very aggressive when they got infected with the crystals. So now we're doing a little bit of cleanup before we move on. I
Mm-hmm.
believe Tivna and Peak are doing some scouting up front in case there's any more dangers, along with I
Negotiation.
believe along with potential negotiations, yes. And I believe what was that?
Negotiations, yes. I said.
Right. And while that's happening, we had the brains of the operation, Krista, Tamara, and because she knows how to use blood work, I assume Shay, started working on some potential antidotes for in case we come across more of these situations with crystals.
All right. Well,
This is going to very quickly start to look like a necromancer's wet dream.
oh no. I would say someone give. So let's
Acrobacy.
see. Let's see.
I can only imagine
Faye.
the bloodbath is coming.
and Tivna. Give me a d4 really quick, just to see who starts first in line of DMing.
3.
Sweet. All right.
3.
All right, hold on.
Two.
Salem, did you need the map screen to be shared?
I have been given some advice on how to make the giant pictures go away so I can use the mobile version of it without having to make it spam load on the desktop version. So give me just a moment to see if that can pull up, and I will inform you in text if it doesn't work.
Okay.
Okay, for sure. Well done. Alrighty.
Oh,
I'll
this
sit
is
it.
their first time leaving Rick Astley land.
Oh. Don't worry about it.
Is it
Alright,
rolling
so-
4?
So it's okay, Twiggy, give me d4 as well. Where is the little token? Oh yes, I put him in the dimension. Where the heck? Okay. The 2? Okay. So I'm starting off with
Vicky gets booped.
I'm starting with Tivna. Oh,
Okay.
actually no, oh no, actually no.
Actually, considering we ended off with my character, how about we start with the main party and what they're doing during all this?
Okay. Of course. Alright, so then you are with Shay, Christy, and Tamara, which is coming back from basically just like giving up stern glaring at you see kind of like Shay like just stand there, and Christy starts to like tinker with something with like the blood and everything. Hey, my name just gave me a hand here. Looks at her and Shay. She's like, don't look at me.
What do you need
I
help
thought-
with exactly?
Well, just to like maybe imbue some of it with your magic and stuff like that. Maybe perhaps.
I can certainly try. And just guide me through the process.
Okay. It looks like she kind of like grabs a bunch of like tools out, takes out like a little tiny table out of nowhere. She's looking over her shoulder a little bit, and Chrissy's like, I'm gonna need at least 2 people's blood to make this work. Shay's
Very well.
like, don't look at me. Yeah, I'm definitely looking at you, says Krista. You see. Fine. Just don't you. So basically, she's like, all right, so grab us dagger. Done. You just get takes on a dagger.
Someone's about to get stabbed.
Why do I hear necromantic noises back there? Shay just looks over. It's not necromancy if it's not. No. Chrissy's like, so I would maybe draw some blood perhaps. I mean, I'm not much of an experience with necromancy stuff. Looks at Shay. I know definitely you would. I mean, you're basically undead. Vampire. But whatever. Wait, but she's neo romantic ones? What?
No, that's not Neo. That's
Oh. Necro. Oh. No. Oh, jeez. Thanks for the jokes. All right. So, so Shay just basically takes out her like dagger. Just. Where do you want this at? On top of this, like, and she takes a a solvent as she starts to like scribble like alchemy. Maybe like read about this in the speech dish a little bit. Sure. And then hand it to Zen. Your turn.
Right. let me see. Apparently do not have a dagger on me, so I guess I'll borrow one from one of them if they're willing, and I'm assuming this isn't enough enough to deal a point of damage.
Oh, just the one. That's it.
So 1 point of, I guess this would be slashing. Not like it matters
Yes.
since it's 1 point anyways.
Yeah, just 1 point.
Alright. Well, that suffice.
Okay.
Goliath that decides to mitigate that 1 point of damage.
No, that's not even. Oh, I see. All right, so let me just grab you as tokens, because they're here somewhere. Put Nikki in the Regasly, no, not the Regasly dimension, the other dimension. Okay.
I'm just
Alright.
something funny in the text chat.
Oh. Without falling into the ingredients. What? Okay, so Chrissy like has the two petri dishes like right in front of her, and she starts to tinker with something, and she's gonna do a roll for something for that. Wow, this whole necromantic thing is pretty hard, huh? Shady looks over. Give me that shit. You're doing it wrong. You're doing it wrong. Like, this is how you. She starts to like basically just mix a bunch of shit and everything. Mix the blood and everything, put it in the bottle and everything. You actually see her like work like like a scientist. Was like,
This is the true face of a necromancer.
You've got ingredients. What?
I'm still trying to make this goddamn Twister joke.
She mixes it, and she's gonna do an Arcana check really quick. I think she has an Arcana. Really. So you start so you watching Shay like fiercely like making the antidote. It's like from this blood red to like this kind of like this light blue color. She's like mixing all these like chemicals and really yeah, she's like giving like her flair to like these ingredients, and then she like adds a bit more of her blood a bit, and then wraps her arm a bit, her hand, and then basically just Chrissy's like basically watching this, and she kind of like she's almost about to throw up. And eventually like Shay finishes like 3 vials full of like this light blue liquid. She can like puts her hands up. I was like, holy shit, how'd you know how to do necromancy stuff? I just saw it in the book once. You have gathered the ingredients in one essence for years level. Oh god. Alright. So Shay looks at Zen. Zen just Shay just like gives the vials to Zen. Casually given to him. Here.
And what is the intended effect?
Oh, you know. It does this thing with the doing the lesser effect of the berserker rage, I think.
DM, could I have that explain? Oh wait, I don't. Can you identify potions?
If it's a magical potion, it should tell you how to use it. I think what its effects are.
Because lesser effect of Berserker Rage doesn't necessarily translate.
Oh, it's a. Oh, sorry. What I meant to say was it was lesser restoration. So.
Okay, that makes a lot more sense. I appreciate
Sorry,
it.
my wording is weird. Yeah. She looks at you and gives you the vials and is like, here. So, and now I'm gonna take a good nap. Another one? Yeah. I mean, I did put some blood in there, so. Also, I'm beginning to be a little bit sleepy and grouchy for some reason.
Out of character, I can only imagine when they take a nap that they just fall back and then the ground just goes underneath them and they just peace like King Boomy.
Basically.
Like here, I'm going to put an example in general.
Yeah.
Basically this.
Let me see. So if anyone else that's like nearby, give me an insight on. Oh, all right, bro. I'm out of here now. Basically, that's general. Okay. Good job. Salem. So yes. Anyone that's there, can you give me insight on Shay and Tamar really quick?
I will take an insight roll. Boy, you almost screwed up.
Oh shit.
Was it about to be like a 7 or a 1?
It was about to be. It landed on a 1 for exactly 0.5 seconds.
Wow.
Figgy, when you like look over inside of Shay plus the relationship, because what that means. Oh, sure. No. Okay. So Figgy looking at noticing that Shay when she walks past Tamara kind of like has this like neutral sort of like hostile like expression on her face. But Tamara basically just glares at Shay, and you can tell that the necromancy that she did did not sit well with her.
And Yura got a 21 on their insight.
Okay, you could also determine this as well. Also, what Yura also actually let me DM this to you. Well, give me a second. See.
Yura about to find out.
Alright.
Should be alright for you to move. The last session, yeah, I was hiding in the shadows, waiting for violence to happen, and then I missed every shot that I took. And then violence was solved, not violence.
So you notice that. Also, give me history really quick. For Yuta.
Give you what?
For history check really quick if you.
Ooh, history. I'm good at history. Slightly less good at history because the dice said no. Fuck you. You can't be proud of yourself. That's a total of 10.
Generally, Mm. Okay, I gotcha. Alrighty. Type there. There's the information, and so you realize this. Made you realize it. Shay just looks over everyone. So, what are we doing now? Since we got the things for the guys, and she like sits down, crisscross applesauce.
Well, now that the antidote has been procured, we're going to be using it for any other survivors that we come across that may have been inflicted. Hopefully it works out. The idea is to not spread out as much bloodshed as possible because we are in a neighboring land, and clearly there's some sort of an issue in these caves. Might be in good favor to, calm it down a bit. How much of a dosage of this antidote do you think will possibly quell the nerves? Not the whole vial, right?
Don't think so.
All right, sounds good to me. So, now we just go ahead and figure out where the heck Tivna and Pick went off to. I believe they
Well,
went over that direction, since this is the only direction left.
all right. Meanwhile, so what's Judah doing actually?
That's actually something I'm kind of trying to figure out at the moment. I'm not quite sure. Definitely interested in this sword, but same as the thing they learned about our little friend Ironhammer, they have no real interest in spoiling other people's secrets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna like stalk ahead, see if I can assist in finding the others, and also, bring my children with me, because of course we can't forget about my children.
Okay. Good thing I put them all in the GM layer, just in case.
But they have no real interest or care for curing anybody. They don't know how to, so it's not really their business. Just kind of like following the party around, trying to find out what's going on, what's the most engaging and interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, my children.
They're just standing around, like they're looking around, like tilting their head here and there while they follow you. And you start heading upwards, and all right, Pick is waiting. Am I correct?
I don't remember if I stealthed or not, but I do know that I was falling behind Tim. Let me check, see if
Okay.
there's like a total here from me from last session.
I don't think so. So give me stealth really quick. Let me see if they.
Yeah, nah, it wasn't a stealth roll. All right, cool. Yeah, sure, I'll roll a stealth.
Okay. Lol. Nice. So, yeah. So, you're hidden, and they don't notice you in probably the little bit of the shaded shadows and everything. For Tiff, no, you're with these people still. And...
I mean, I'm talking with them, so there is no point in trying stealth.
Mm.
I mean, it would be kind of awkward to then try to stealth after talking to some people.
Oh. So anyways, we can take care of it ourselves, unless you just go back to whence you came, perhaps, and not.
Well, the thing is we simply wish to go through here, and to go back from whence we came is kind of a fool's errand.
Tell you what, How about one of our men escort you, or a few of our men escort you out of here? No problem at all.
Oh. So wait, you just simply want to live in these caves?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Well, that sounds pretty stupid. But okay, I guess. And as long as
Okay,
we're not trying to, as long as basically we can get by and you guys don't have to run into any issues, I don't see what's going to cause any issues for us and vice versa for you.
mm-hmm. You nods. You
That
pass
said,
us. What?
I
What?
would
Mhm.
be wary around the green, the blue glowing rocks, as they are not very good for dragonborns,
Duly noted.
as it causes them to go a bit crazy and turn on their friends. And as you
Mm,
seem to have a lot of them, it appears this might be a problem that you're going to have to run into a lot more than we will.
mm. All right, we'll take note of it. And let me just. And he shouts in Draconic a name. Ivory.
I can understand Draconic, thankfully.
I
I'm a
So
so it's
dragonborn, so I
just
kind of do.
Well,
you
I'm
you
kobold.
hear
It's a natural language for them too.
okay. So you understand Draconic, I believe.
Yeah, I think every kobold does.
Pig
Okay.
also understands Draconic, but that's because of his ranger feat levels.
Okay. So you hear this golden dragonborn just shout into the like little bit of the dark a name Avery, come over here, and there's these guests that would like to pass through this village. And you see coming out from a little bit of the fog is um, you see a pink dragonborn with like a little bit of the attire of a fancy attire, and she looks over. She's really casual. She's like, yeah, oh shit. I had to stop by poker game for this. Sure, I guess. Uh, what do you need, Gwen? Escorting. You didn't hear? You have your ears?
Hello.
Oh, they look they slowly look over. Oh, who's this?
Hello. I am Tivna. I am kobold adventurer with a party of I don't even know how big at this moment. And
Mm,
we simply wish to go through these caves without any problems.
no problem. You got money for that? Gwen's like, no, no. How about I pay you for this? Avery's like, you better pay me good, alright, old man? Jeez. Anyways, yeah, I could take you to these tunnels. I could take you across here and then transfer you to Captain Atraxia, if you like.
Mm. May I also roll perception, partially because I'm curious what the others might be talking about, and if
Mhm.
any of them might be speaking thieves' cant, since I do happen to have that as a language.
Okay. Yeah. Give me a perception.
Just curious.
Mm,
14.
14. All right. So what's everyone talking about, or well, they're waiting for Tivna, or were you able to hear?
Mm. You're the DM, you tell
Uh.
me.
Oh. So you hear Figgy like talking with Shay about the cure and everything, and you hear Yoda coming up slowly.
So that's
A
what
little
smells
bit
like
further.
death.
You hear a little bit of Tamara in the background, and and everyone else as well. You see Pig behind you, stealthily, menacingly looking at everything.
Hmm.
Does anybody know Thieves' Cant as well?
I believe that's only native to rogues and certain backgrounds.
Right.
Okay. All right. So you see all of that happening in the background. You look over.
Okay.
And Avery says, "So, how many tourists am I taking exactly? Is there?"
I don't entirely know. I really haven't taken the time to count.
Well,
What I
go
do
back with
know
your
is we
friends.
are all able-bodied when it comes to defending ourselves should we find any threats. I mean, you never can really be too safe on these trails and caves and such. Like, heck, we found some giant spiders about last week or something.
Oh yeah, yeah. Those are they've been popping up lately, and they brought these some of these woods.
Hmm.
I wonder what's up with that. Avery's like, who
Maybe
cares?
some idiot started a campfire in the wrong place.
Or maybe anger the god, says Gwen. Shut up with the god, says Cypher.
That.
Listen.
I mean, such does happen. Heck, even before that, one of our friends actually ran off to, I don't know, find a new god or something? I really don't know what he did. It's just that he kind of ran off, and for all we know...
Wait. What does this guy look like?
Honestly, the only thing I can remember is his name and how he'd say it.
Okay, go on.
Reinhardt.
Oh, that crazy guy that like plows through over here, like.
That does not surprise me at this point.
Yeah,
The only thing he seemed to have taken was his hammer.
I think it's a hammer, and I think he was carrying some other things, but I'm not sure. Anyway, he was super fast. He just plowed through and scared like the poor kobolds here. So
Yeah, that sounds about right.
he said something about going to a quest to find something, and didn't come back.
Honestly, we
Maybe he
don't
found
really
a
know
different
what he's
way.
up to either. Just that he ran off. The fact that he managed to do so in the middle of the night without shouting his name loud enough for anyone to hear still amazes me.
Well, I don't know what he was on, to be honest. Shrugs.
Well, clearly a quest.
No, like he was on like some medication, like the herbs, those like crazy herbs. Yeah.
You could say that, or considering they're a barbarian, the thrill of a quest. I mean, to them, anger is pretty much the same darn thing. If that's the case, then who knows what thrill would be.
And I knew a guy that was super angry most of the time, and he used that as his combat fury.
Yeah. Now imagine what being thrilled or excited would do to something like a person like that. Who knows what would be able to stop them, but I don't think much. Clearly not this place.
So yeah. Anyways, you gather your friends, and we'll wait here, and then the gold dragonborn kind of like goes over and whispers something more to her, and then afterwards just walks off. Be right back. And he goes into the fray.
Well, do you want to at least join me as I go and do that? It easier to keep count that way.
I mean, I don't mind waiting here.
Alright.
And do you go with your friends?
Yeah.
Okay. So, as Tifa walking over, everyone sees Tifa now coming back.
I also follow behind.
So, there was a camp of Dragonborns just ahead. I did talk to them, and they are willing to allow us passage through, as well as a guide.
Do they seem on the level?
Well, they didn't try to kill anyone, but at the same time, there might be some reason to at least be a little more cautious around them.
Fair enough.
Either
Alright.
way, if they just simply allow us through and nothing goes wrong, then all will be fine, and nothing will happen. If that's not what happens, well, I mean, we'll just do what we do. Not die.
Right. Right. Well, for a contingency plan, we managed to synthesize some antidotes for in case they do go things go awry.
Yeah, I might let them know that they might want to be wary of the blue crystals of, well,
Alright.
Mm.
Well, hopefully no one has to get injured or anything of the sort.
well, hopefully not, but you never know what you'll find in a cave or who. Just that you'll find something, and more times than not, it wants to eat your head. Either way, safe passage, one way or another, is still safe passage. Yeah, at least means that we have one less thing to worry about until we get there.
Right.
Now,
Well then,
Does it mean I get to stay in here? Says Remy.
well, actually, do you know anything about the Golden Dragonborn?
You mean Gawain? Yeah,
that's
he's one of those rich rich dragonborn folk.
Well, that's who I was talking to. I'm curious if you know anything about them more specific than that that could help us judge character.
Well,
because the guide he whispered to at the end, and I did not catch what was said, but I have a suspicion.
I mean, he haven't stepped foot in like 3 years, and now he's back, and in I don't know what his deal is, but like he's like filthy rich.
And when did the elf people start arriving here?
Oh, like a month or so.
Just I would ask.
Or he like recently came back too, like a month ago. So I don't know if that's a noble thing. I'm not sure. But
something tells me we
yeah.
might. Well, necromancer. I know I said I would like these not to be in my box here, but something tells me if they see that we have 3, well, kinda rotting elves following us, it might not go well.
They won't ask about it. Don't worry.
I hope you're right about that, because if they do, something tells me we're going to have a bad time.
That's the future scene where they immediately ask about it.
Anyways, so how many do we have here on passage to the town?
Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 13, and then 14 with Nikki T-posing.
Yeah, 13 not including the T-posers.
Yeah, okay.
They are going to get tired of being in that realm soon enough, I'm sure of it. move as a group now? Just safety in numbers.
I
Yeah,
can
that'd
agree with
probably be
that.
smart.
Mm-hmm. My eyes! You see the aura like, my eyes! Alright. So, you guys power through.
Mhm.
And we go meet
Um,
with the guide.
Let me put you guys in a little tight thingy real quick.
Okay.
Oops. Okay. All right. The 13 of you
Not
walk
including
up.
the T-pose. Instead of just
The poser.
They might as well just be
T-pose
floating
are
along
kinda
at
like-
this point. Like,
yeah.
we have them on a rope and using them dragging along like a balloon.
Avery like looks at all your group, like including the T-poser, is like, what the fuck?
Don't mind them.
Is that?
Thing that's been going around, people going basically into another plane of existence at random.
Oh,
Usually followed
That's
by
what's
some
the
kind
bone.
of music. I don't know if anyone else has encountered it. It just seems to only affect specifically people who are adventuring. And
well, it's the first time I've encountered it. Anyways, says Avery. Anyways, shall we?
Yeah.
Looks over at she notices like the dead guys. She's like, let me see if she insights them real quick.
Does Yura notice her staring?
Yes.
Hmm.
She looks over. She's like,
Really have to just not.
Looks.
Can I get
Are they?
Can I get a wisdom save from her and 3 of her friends?
Oh,
Sure.
Gosh.
I have a really bad feeling about this.
Okay.
Can I be in the back for this? Like, I didn't get to
Yeah.
choose where to.
Your DC
Yes,
16.
together. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, so okay, so let's see. The dragon ones are 1, 2, 3, including Avery. So the first one's Avery. So she failed. This guy failed. This guy failed. This guy basically did not fail.
Okay.
So what happens?
Charm person.
Oh,
As
wonderful.
Yura kind of like puts her arms behind her back, like perks up her shoulders, and just smiles as she notices them looking at her children. Is like, boys, say hi. Don't be rude. They're quite fascinated by you. There's like muffled
Like-
groaning from each of them. And it's just perfectly normal.
Are they like 6 as the one nearby Avery?
Except
they
for
like-
the
are
ones
they-
they passed, so I mean they don't have to be fooled. Whether they see if they're corpses or not is up to them. But the other 3 are chill about it.
So this one that didn't fail to save just slowly tilts his head and is like, are they like what do you call, like, do they have like some sort of disease on them, or they look like they have a disease on them?
No, they're just a little bit mentally challenged sometimes. Unfortunately, their father wasn't the brightest, and they happened to take his smarts.
Give me a deception.
Wonderful.
Can I boost that deception with my own?
You gonna give help action?
Yeah, help action. Okay.
Yep, help action.
Heck yeah.
Okay. Let me roll the second one real quick. That'll be a 27.
Okay. Okay. He's like, yes, of course. I wrote me of a scene and stuff. Carry on. And like Avery's like, yeah, let's go.
Okay, then.
Divna just sees like a little silver glint in your eye, like this little evil smirk on her face as she just marches forward with the group, unbothered.
As you go on the belly of the beast. Wee. Ow. It's so dark in here.
Everyone except for me die. But
Oh no. I cast darkness.
I wasn't planning to do this yet.
I become a flashbang.
Let me reveal some things.
Again.
Look, I
All
don't
right.
know where we are, but I'd like to cast Spirit Guardians, leaving nobody out. I crave PvP.
You crave PvP? You see a couple of kobold and some dragonborn, and you see us like basically like huts and stuff like that, and like on this corner you see more huts and stuff.
I'm
I'm
starting to get
revealing
the
the whole map.
strangest feeling we're wandering through a settlement.
Either a settlement or maybe a refugee camp?
It's quite possible. This tunnel was, if I'm not mistaken, used to be for mining, so maybe this is just where the miners used to sleep. Or are still currently sleeping.
Possibly. I mean, they had to have somewhere to rest when they were tunneling out these. When they were digging.
All the digging.
And again, usually we would have just dug holes into the wall and slept in those.
I'm just revealing that so you could see. There we go. You see more kobolds. More and more kobolds. Kobolds all around, just basically just enjoying their lives.
I'm going to just ask the nearest ones, like, did something happen? Like, this seems like, oddly enough, this seems like a settlement and a place where one should not normally be.
Oh, we normally like live here. Isn't that right? He like looks over at one of the dragonborn. Isn't that right, my friend? Yeah, definitely. His eye just starts twitching.
I just rolled a 13 for insight.
You can tell these two are lying. They were like, anyways, carry on. Excuse me. Trying to like pass through. Excuse me, man. Don't worry about it. We're just taking them to Ataxia.
I am very much curious about all this.
What are you curious about? Oops, you're in the back.
Well, first off, the situation that would bring such a settlement to happen, and B, I saw that eye twitch.
Whatever you're talking about. It says the kobold. It says the dragonborn.
Is there something odd going on? Like, it does seem like an awfully strange place.
I mean, isn't every place strange? Says the kobold. Just.
Yes,
I mean,
you keep changing between being a kobold and a dragonborn. You can't decide what you want to be. Joking.
So you just see like, yeah, this is me basically switching to character.
One moment they're a tall dragonborn, the other moment they're a tiny kobold, and back again. They can't decide what they are.
Yikes.
They're fluid. They are draconic fluid.
Oh, gosh.
Well, don't worry about it. You can like switch, eye twitch. It'll be fine, right? Yeah, it'll be fine. Everything will be fine. And you guys move through. Nothing to see here, says Avery. All right. Any reactions or anything you guys like to do?
Can I use perception just to simply eavesdrop on anything going on as we walk through?
Yeah.
Both in, of course, Draconic, as that's what's going to be spoken here, and anything else I might have.
Okay.
I'll toss mine into the ring too.
I got a
Mhm.
12.
Natural 20.
Oh shit. All right. So okay, and then you're the one that notices a bunch of like whispers, uh, people like closing their huts and their little huts and everything. You can tell that these local kobolds are really scared at the moment.
Of
Uh,
us or of something else?
um, the of something else in particular. You can tell that basically of these dragonborn, particularly this group of dragonborn that's this housing, and you hear uh you hear one particular kobold say, whisper, "Oh no, it's the new meat."
And for a flicker, you see everyone turn into a token and a bright purple sky as reality and the game become one for just a moment with your perception of Nat 20.
Mm-hmm.
But only for a moment.
Shit's a twinkle. Sivna, on the other hand, just basically hears, "Oh look! Oh no, here we go again."
Hmm. Well, that would
Don't be afraid now, says Avery. After all, we're just going on a stroll. You know, after all, I'm escorting these guys.
Alright, I'm not afraid. Just piecing things together. So, how
Well,
long has this settlement been here?
it's well, kind of like scratches his head a little bit. About 2 months or so.
Hmm. And I don't see any rock meal quarry. So, no rock sandwiches? That seems a bit odd.
We don't have rock sandwiches here. There's some of them ahead, so a little bit more ahead.
Hmm.
So, well,
A little more ahead, you said?
yeah. There's a mine here, and if you like go a little bit further, there's more tunnels that lead to other things, and more likely all the way across to the main capital. You're looking for a civilization, am I correct?
That is correct, yes.
Hmm. Hmm.
And any idea what brought everyone to here? It does look more like a refugee camp than anything else.
Hmm.
It's more of the well,
Oh,
seem
just what brought everyone here? Why there are so many?
well, they wanted to live here. What?
What caused them to want to live here?
Hmm.
I mean, this is an odd place, and honestly, across the bridge out there, what looked like a much more habitable area. And it's not that far from here.
Oh. What did?
One moment,
Uh,
I'm going to go and say something.
um. Well, kind of like shifts her feet a little bit. And then she walks on into the void
Hmm.
with silence. Quinn's like, "Oh, hey, Miss Dragonborn lady. Is this really the way?
Sorry about that.
Of course, it's the way. Why wouldn't I know the way?" And she steps into a little like.
I don't like how she said that.
I just got back.
If
and I
you
don't
want
love
to
how
make
you said
a,
that.
if you
I'm
want to make insight, yeah,
Yeah.
the creepy.
You'd also like to make insight.
Well, I
Yeah.
failed with a 5.
No, I guess
Alright.
I'll inside my.
Okay,
Ooh,
so
and that'll be
17.
I got a 16.
And
I
so
got a-
Figgy pick.
get a nat 25.
Oh shit! Everyone can tell that this is very, very strange and fishy. Just something weird about her. At the same time, Yura could definitely tell that she's leading them to a trap.
Oh, that.
What's your name again?
Avery, you can call me Avery.
Ah, Avery, dear. I have a few
Mhm.
questions for you. Just one thing.
Mhm.
You were so sweet, but why exactly are you leading us the wrong way?
This
Thought
is a
we
better
were
shortcut.
friends.
This is a shortcut after all. You know, she can like winks.
Sweetheart,
Mm.
sweetheart, no. I don't appreciate you lying to me. I thought we were friends.
Are we allies at the moment?
Avery failed the save, right? On the charm earlier?
They did.
The charm earlier? Yeah.
Okay. So we are talking like friendly acquaintances. I don't believe it goes beyond that. It's just they regard me as a friendly acquaintance.
Yes.
The fact that this is how they treat their friends is extremely concerning. I'd really appreciate it if you could lead us the proper way. It takes a little bit longer. That's perfectly fine. But this way is not the right one. You and I both know that.
She has a. I think she has to take a wisdom save again. I believe, right?
Not unless I harm her or one of her
Okay.
allies.
Hmm.
Or if any of us do it, which none of us have.
I'll take it. I'll take you to it. Is this not the right way? Can like.
I don't believe it is. Part of you knows that too. Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this discussion now, would we?
With that, someone give me a perception really quick.
Yeah, sure. Is it site based or what?
Sight based, yeah. Or
I'm
hearing,
very
and
good.
hearing, and or hearing, yeah. Either or.
I'm rolling percept.
I got an 18 sight based.
I have 22 site based, and Jackson's also gonna roll his own because Jackson has that. Has basically the same stuff as me.
I hear people
Okay.
rolling things, so I'm just gonna roll.
17 from
Alright.
Jackson.
Site based.
Yeah,
24.
it's 24. Okay. Everyone can hear a voice say, "Avery, that is enough." And then a click of a gun, and you see right in front of you someone being shot. Avery, like basically a headshot right through the skull.
Mm.
The pink
Oh, let me check my
dragonborn, right?
reaction.
Wait, they shot Avery?
Yeah.
I don't have reactions to do stuff like that, dog.
Any
Oh
reactions?
no.
I can.
Not Avery. It sure would suck if I didn't have. Okay, no, I don't think I have 3,300 GP worth of diamonds on me at this moment. I don't. Let me check my inventory to verify, but I don't. Yeah, I don't think I ever bought gems, so it revives out RIP Bozo.
So I did roll a 14 on perception. Did I see him behind him? Because I can turn any of my attacks into a reaction.
Okay. All right, so you saw a what looks like a gray dragonborn kind of like take out a gun and shoot Avery in the dark.
Before
As you see two couples behind her.
As a reaction before this, could I use Quicken Spell and Mage Armor on Avery?
Mage Armor?
Mage Armor.
Can you target another creature with Mage Armor?
It's on self, I believe.
It's on touch.
It's actually a willing creature who isn't wearing armor, so yeah, I guess. Well, that only matters if whatever they roll.
Alternatively, I will go with Plan B.
Oh, okay.
We find 300.
Hold on. You touch a willing creature who isn't wearing armor and a protected magical force surrounds it until the spell ends.
So I guess is Avery wearing armor?
I'll use Plan B.
It's this willing creature, so I don't think she was willing at the moment.
Then,
I'm not sure, but
okay, then I will use Quicken Spell and use Reduce. I will shrink them.
Reduce.
I think because of the whole willing non-willing thing, I think she does need to make a save for that.
Very well, then instead I shall just reduce their size before they get hit.
Okay. So willing, so it would be a wisdom save?
Unwilling would be a save. A willing creature. A willing creature is essentially voluntarily failing the save.
Yeah.
Well, which result did we go with? Because if they were wearing armor, I was just going to use Enlarge Reduce.
Yeah, they were wearing armor, as I kind of said before. Yeah.
Then Enlarge Reduce is what I did.
So tiny. I guess. She becomes tiny.
And I will also have to do a Wild Magic Surge, so roll 1d20.
She's tiny now.
And, okay, so, on Wild Magic, what do we deem in that one to be before we roll the chart?
1, 2, 3, 4, 11? Game rules. I think it was even for...
Right.
Hold says if you roll that one, you get, let's see, we started to this first level, you cast night only at least, let's see, one first turn, DM can have you roll d20 immediately after you cast a spell. First level higher, if you roll a 1, roll on the magic table. Unroll it.
Right. So
yeah.
In other words, on that one for the normal rules is how that works, how it activates.
I was gonna say, here comes the fireball.
Oh no.
Rolling a d10.
Your age changes to a number of years equal to the roll. If the roll is odd, you get younger minimum 1 year. Yeah. So you get 8 years younger.
They get 8 years older.
Older. Okay. Older. Okay.
Macy's different age before us. What is the lifespan of Cobalt? How old is Tivna?
Fine. Pretty much. That makes my character 26.
Wow.
I want to say off the top of my head, average kobold lifespan is like 50 years. I know it's not super long, but it's longer than some of the other small races within its close group, I guess. I have no idea what I'm saying.
Average
So, yeah,
kobold
it's small.
lifespan. Why the okay, let's see here. That's official bestiary. Says 135 years, 120 years for a different thing, 30 years for Pathfinder.
Well, thank God we're not doing Pathfinder.
Okay,
What?
from our D&D, normal kobold can live up to 120 years. Typically dies around the ages of 16 to 20 from outside cause. So they just die around 20 because of the fact that they do tend to just get themselves killed, but they can live for 120 years.
Yeah, like it's not that their natural lifespan is 20. It's that their natural time before they do something stupid.
In other
I
words,
can't find
Tibna's
out.
fine. Tibna will never have to worry about aging out of existence for a good while. But now aging, like underaging out of existence, is a whole different
Well,
story.
no, I'm more protected from that
Oh.
now.
I feel somewhat attacked.
Oh no.
Dude, my life
You. So now, so that happens. Tidna slowly starts to age up. Yeah. So ages up by 8. As you like, I think grow a little bit. Older Tidna. Is this permanent? Let me see.
Is it permanent?
35.
It is
It
permanent.
doesn't say it.
Yeah, it's
You
permanent. It's
doesn't say it wears off, so.
let me roll d4. Odd means no. Even means yes. It wears off eventually. 4 plus 4 extra. 3. It doesn't wear off.
Well,
Alright.
until next time, at least. And by next time, I mean if I get a -8 result, then back to before. Who knows? The Wild Mage could have technically abused this ability for so long to make themselves immortal, until eventually they roll a fireball.
You notice, everyone notices that Tamara just cranks up that pistol and just shoots in the forehead.
Boy.
She's like, fuck this shit.
I like how small you made the person's token.
Yeah. Everyone,
about as tall as a kobold.
Oh, this is about to get interesting.
all right, let me see if she. Let me see if she does shit. Where'd it go?
I can now
Where's
just imagine
her-
the Mario mushroom noise playing twice. One for someone getting smaller and the other for someone technically getting a little larger.
Okay, so you just hear her, well, from her gun, use scorching ray. It's projecting her gun. 3 blasts, like. Yeah, it hits her in the forehead, and you see this driver kind of like crumple on the floor. I hate distractions. Like, what was the point of that? And you see the 2 kobolds kind of like raise their arms up a little bit. Don't shoot!
And why in the world did you attack us? I don't believe we've done anything to earn your ire.
Someone's like, I think she's dead. I killed her. Oh shit, I killed her.
You think?
The Dragonborn. Dragonborn.
No, what? You want a nice shot? Go pat on the back.
I bend over and I pick up our guide off the floor. Oh.
Alright.
I put so much work and energy into her, and they almost killed her. That would have been so annoying.
Is that?
That
You know,
you had
I'm not sure I can say I agree with your former stance on that.
Can also hurt you. Who's the necromancer?
You just see Remy just like basically like start hiding in one of the tents and just goes in there like.
We didn't come here to cause trouble. We just simply wanted to pass through. And I see that eerie blue glow back there. What have you been doing? As I hold up the previously tall guide.
They have she has her arms up a little bit. Fine, you got me. Listen, I was trying to take you guys to Atraxia, but your fellow friend here just. So I was like, hey.
Unless Atraxia is dead, I don't think we would have found them there.
I was leading you to the correct way.
And now we're
Really?
doing it our way.
I'm very disappointed in you, dear. Not how you treat someone that's friends with you.
I'm
The point
pretty
of friends
sure whatever
anyways.
you did is no longer in effect.
Oh, I'm not worried about that anymore. Also, like they fully just drop concentration on it.
That said, you would have died there. I used my abilities to save you. Are you
Yes,
sure
you
you want to
did.
swear allegiance to a person who just tried to have you assassinated?
I wasn't aware of this.
Well, now you are. What do you want to do about it? You have the power and choice to do so. Join us? Or find out what your previous friend has in store for whatever should happen if they failed.
Or you could just let me go and I'll just be on my merry way.
Nah, I think that option's kind of off the table at this point.
I'm sure you would not be fulfilled by simply walking away after, again, previous friend tried to have you killed. In front of all of these people. Now, I don't know about you. But I do feel like it would be a better idea for you not to be dead, one way or another. And I know if you return the way we came, you're likely going to find exactly what he had in store for you.
She's a girl, but give me persuasion.
Very well. Persuasion. 20.
Clayton just has his hammer out. Oh, Clayton has his hammer out. He's like, answer or else. If so, okay. So she's like, fine, just kind of like raise his hand a little bit. I'll tell you everything. Okay, what friendo?
And I should mention, I'm not holding you here. You can hop off my hand whenever you want. And eventually, you will grow back to normal size. I simply saved your butt. Or I guess in this case, your head.
She squints at you a bit. Does that mean I get to walk out?
Well, if you really want to, I guess, but I mean, where do you have to go? Really?
I could always go back down the walk path down back again.
The way that we are going, or that we were trying to go?
Well, she like points to the. Well, you see, if you go up this way, you'll find a mine, and then the other pathways. But but if you like go back over to where you basically were walking from, um, you see those guys, where you were walking in, yes?
Yeah.
Where exactly?
You know, the entrance.
Either there or all the way back there.
Yeah. If you go back over once you came, you know, you will get ambushed by those guys.
Mm.
So what you're saying is this entire mine is just filled with people that have these bright ideas to just start jumping folks when they least expect it.
Whose idea was that?
I mean, you know, this is at least this Dragonborn group, anyways.
And whose idea was that?
Would you know that Gawain
Mm.
Golden Scale?
Mr. Shiny Face?
Where the heck? Yeah.
Mm.
Where the heck is that fucker, anyways? Oh, right, he escaped.
Mm. Want to help us fix that? I'm
I
rather
mean,
peeved here. I'm surprised you're not.
a thief?
No, peeved.
No, I'm a mercenary.
I said peeved, as in
Peeved?
angry.
Peeved. Angry that he left? Yeah. I mean, you know,
No, angry that they left,
he
and
basically
angry
ran
that
off.
they left someone with a gun for you.
I thought I would have trusted them, but
Well, clearly you did for that to almost end rather poorly for you. Either way, their plan failed.
actually, the kind of did not fail with the part of them basically taking most of the crystals, you know, those crystals of lyrium.
Hmm. Hey, guys, how many of those did you predict would be enough to cause him to lose his mind?
Uh, 3 of these.
Hmm.
Shay,
How many did he carry?
I believe 3.
Hmm. Yeah, I'm gonna tell you this. We're going to have to stop him. Because he's probably a mindless brute at this moment. Probably gone full berserk.
And how do you? And then like tomorrow's like, and how do you know this guy hasn't, you know, hasn't even injected the crystal into his body?
Hmm. Well, if he hasn't, then he's going to have one really bad time if he falls. Depending on where he's carrying them.
It's a good thing that we have antidotes to back that up.
Assuming we wanted to use it on him.
Well, I guess
As
it
opposed to
depends.
maybe some basic Gobold or Dragonborn citizens here who might be afflicted with the issues and could
You know what?
probably save their lives and be a better help to society.
You know what? You're fair. However, it is also fair that maybe he could be still tough for trial as opposed to just being murdered.
True. True, though. Kobold previously said he was rich. Something tells me.
One less asshole. Yeah.
Well,
Hmm.
more so, something tells me I don't think he would be getting a fair trial. Especially since kobolds are particularly swayed by shiny things.
You know what? You make a very fair and proposing argument. So,
How about this? If they haven't lost their minds, we'll try to give them the chance. If they have, well, reasoning has already left the scene.
hey, if he lost his mind, he's all yours.
Very well.
Mm.
So,
And as far as the little one over here, well, used to be little one, or well, however your size currently used to be not so little one.
I do have a question.
Would you like?
Are we friendos?
I'm gonna toss a D4 really quick.
Would you like a greater purpose in life?
What are you, a Mormon?
If you're paying me, then yes,
Hmm.
because
I do believe I might have something for that. Something worth 1,000 gold.
give me where is it? They
You were starting to sound more like a kobold. Are you sure you're not a kobold who was just super tall?
Wes.
Well, here's the thing.
Not at all.
I do have it. I just have to fish it out of the box
Yeah.
of holding.
I like
And I
wasting
would
some
like you
energy
not to
back
get
from
lost
him.
in there.
Also, Yuta says, I like my wasted time and energy back from her, so I'd like to handle that. All right.
So,
Mm.
also, if your former employer has lost their mind, I'm sure that something they've got is probably worth your while as well. What's to
Or
say?
he's probably hunting down that Lata dragon and try to kill it. Maybe. I don't know.
All the more reason. Dragons are known for their loot. I'm not saying we're after the dragon, but
Wait, hold on. The dragon that you are talking about. Are you talking about where's the notes that I just had? God damn it.
yes, the answer is probably yes. Meaning all the more reason why we should all be heading there. Both for the
Uh
loot and because it sounds like that's where we should be looking.
Themdacor?
Timbershroud?
Yes, that.
This sounds like a yes.
It's a big fat dragon, yeah.
It's the big fat red dragon, right?
Yes.
And they are
That's the
known
one.
for having piles and piles of riches. Something
Also,
tells
he's
me
a greedy fuck.
all the more reason.
Okay.
Like, I'm sorry to tell you, but what other than simply your life, of which not only did we save, but we have plenty of people who can help safeguard it, you've got a
And
lot to
also,
gain and a lot less to lose.
I could always I don't know, work for any of you. That one particular looks at Yuta.
Uh,
Do you want a debt repaid or shit? I'm just getting out. I just want to get out of the damn situation.
well,
we can make it very blunt for you. Tell us how to get to where we need to go to stop your little ex-boss safely and securely, and you might be able to walk out with riches. Fail to do that, you won't be walking out of here at all.
and not because
Yeah?
of any of us. By the way, here, as for immediate payment, I have this here emerald, which is worth 1,000 gold. Would help tie you over.
You want he takes out a card. There's my gives it to Yuta. Here. Also, I'll take the gold.
Gives what?
It's my business card. Duh.
Why are you getting the card?
Because it. They look they're good looking. Okay.
You even read that card?
Eyes.
Vera kind of like
Yeah,
clips the card in between her fingers, and it kind of just burns up. I won't be needing that. I have a different idea in mind once we're done with what my friends want you to help with. Don't worry.
Raises his eyebrow.
I'm rolling insight. I'm rolling insight. That's a big red flag, and I failed. It's a 6.
Oh.
I just
Okay.
look with shifty. I like.
Shay raises her eyebrows a little. Shay raises her eyebrows a little bit, then shrugs and then says, "You know,
All right, point us in the direction.
do I get to be tall now, or I don't like being short?"
A
Yum.
Oh,
Yeah, please put
concentration up to
concentration so
1
you can
minute.
just drop it.
I put them down first.
Okay, and they grow.
You drop
Ah.
it and them simultaneously.
Ah. She casually walks over to the body, fumbles through it, takes out a sword, and starts stab it twice, just to make sure.
I am also going to be removing the emerald from my inventory as I just gave it to them.
Okay. Looks like matters are solved, yeah. And Clay like glares at Avery. You better not, just backstab us. I'm gonna kick her ass with my axe. In due time, maybe, befriend Divna. But if you hurt her, I will kick her ass with my hammer.
Trust me, you do not want your ass and or kneecaps busted. It's not good.
And then, so if anybody is gonna pay attention to Shay, give me. Oh, just say so. Because I wanted.
I am a little curious as to why they ran past, but at the same time, I have a good idea as to find loot. In which case, I'm surprised I haven't joined them yet.
Yeah, I'll pay attention to Shay. Do I have like to roll something?
No. You just look. Yeah, as you look. As you looking over, you see Shay first loot, in a fast motion, and then bite into the Dragonborn's throat.
Are you sure
Come on,
you
that
want
can't
to
be
do
sanitary.
that? You don't know where that's been.
That can't be sanitary. It really can't be.
Also, the poor kobolds had to watch that.
No. She casually looks over. No, if you don't want. What? It gross. Anyways, I'm not eating. Kobolds start leaving. They start running away from Shay.
Wait.
Hmm?
I was trying to tell the kobolds to wait.
Oh. Okay.
But
so this kobold right here.
Sorry, we don't have any plans to actually hurt anyone who, doesn't have plans to hurt us, and I'm still curious about the whole living situation here. Like, what's been going on?
That's a shady shit. I tell you, Sister Kobold.
It
Like,
definitely sounds and looks like it.
You see other kobolds like in the background.
I don't know. They're surrounded by the blue crystals.
What happened? Okay.
That is a lot of blue.
Let me see. Hold on. Sorry. Okay, sorry. I had to type something. Okay. It's okay. All right. So Shay leaves the husk dragonborn like body husk. And Yuda, give me an insight on Shay really quick. Oh, never mind. You know by the information that she's undead and and stuff.
So.
All right. So.
The blue glowing chamber, of which seems to be the executioner's pit by personal experience. Okay, what's been going on? I'm still trying to talk to the one of many kobolds in this random room.
Well, what about your other friends? What's everyone else doing while Timna's talking to?
Oh, we were just wait.
That's a good question.
I
We were
Yeah,
ran
just
out to use the restroom, so I'm gonna mute for a moment.
okay.
This went from like leaving to Cobalt Court, so I'm not even sure what I'm supposed to do.
Well,
Yeah, I don't think I have
I'm just
much
Yeah.
curious what's
much to contribute to
going
this.
on here. That's all.
Yeah, so
Uh,
I was gonna follow Avery to where we needed to go, but apparently Shay and Tivna went off to go investigate the kobold, so I guess
Probably just
wherever
a
the plot
quick
is.
investigation until we join you guys back up.
I don't know, that room seems more than like a quick investigation.
quick investigation.
It no, I'm just saying like that room is very blue. So it's like it
Yeah.
seems like so I'm like, this seems like plot. Let's go to where the plot is.
Plot. It's supposed to be plot.
Well, it is a different color from everything else here. It's like those giant bosses. Where's the glowing spot?
There's more glowing stuff up ahead, says Shay. Y'all wanna... Excuse me, Tobalt?
Something
Their
tells me
kobolds
we're
are kind
going
of
to need
afraid.
those antidotes ourselves for a bit.
The kobolds are kind of afraid. Well, they're afraid of Shay because they saw
Yeah, they-
sort of...
I don't blame them.
Sort of... Yeah.
So,
Yes, thanks.
as I'm walking by, I'm still trying to ask about like what's been going on because like no meal on a quarry or anything like that. Like how are they eating? There's definitely no farms that
Oh.
I've seen.
You see that they have like little like lunch buckets and everything, or lunch stuff, I guess, like lunch boxes. Oops, I moved on.
Little bento boxes.
Oh, like they do have some water pumps here and there, and like basically just a simple something. And when you go in, there's like a bunch of like blue crystals on that side there, as well as blue plants apparently. Everybody's waiting at the edge. She's like, let me put this all in. So the cobalt. All right. So everyone. I'm guessing everyone's in that room.
Yes, so.
Yeah.
Alright.
Would this be also a faster way to head off our target of, well, revenge slash justice slash depends on the situation by the time we get there.
Revenge? And what are we doing revenge for?
Do you not
There's
see
a revenge
person?
plot?
Kinda. I mean, someone had to order the hit.
I don't know if that's revenge. Revenge. You get revenge when someone succeeds doing the deed.
They
You get
would have,
retribution
if not
if
for us
you
being
fail.
here.
You just see.
Yes, this is retribution, not revenge.
Everyone's
I'm angry.
looking at the room. Angry? What are you angry about? Says
Person
Shay
tried-
to Tifna.
Person tried to take away Fundo.
The person? Who?
The one you bit. Have you already forgotten the person with the gun?
I know, I'm not that amnesiac.
So you guys don't get the memories of anyone you bite. Okay, that's another myth busted.
Out of curiosity, did Shay take the gun from them, or can I take the gun?
She looks. She just passes you the. She's like, I don't need this. I have rapier.
Woo. Pick just gives a quiet woo as he puts it into his bag. What kind of gun is it?
Hmm?
What kind of gun is it?
It's a pistol. Iron hammer. Oops, someone left.
Yeah, I'm not sure who did.
Salem did. Okay, I will take that to note next time. Then they wanted to talk to Iron Hammer. Okay, got it. All right. So, Clayton's like, so are we gonna like bunk it here, or are we just moving forward?
Well, while I'd like to and get access to more of my magic again, I also don't know if we have the time to just bunk here if we have someone else chasing. First off, someone else who we want to really, really would be therapeutic to end, chasing after the very thing we're also looking for.
Hmm.
That said, I do still have the cart.
You think the cart fits here?
Not here yet, but it could later on, who knows.
So what's up with all the blue over here?
Is you asking one of the kobolds?
Or anyone who knows about the blue in general? Avery, Kobolds, Tivna, somebody?
Avery chips up. Well, it's basically a really rare material called Millennium, which basically is, I guess, ingrown magic itself.
Fancy.
Very fancy. So they only grow it down here, and most likely in Draconia. So
And it tends to drive dragons crazy.
Yeah.
it's recently found, anyways.
Is plot to use it to cause a dragon to basically attack some village or such? Because if it makes
just a
dragonborns
note.
lose their minds, then who knows what it'll do to a full grown.
Well,
Every then like starts to says it's also could be able to be crushed into powder and basically just do these like psychedelic effects. Just
Basically, all the more reason we probably should hurry.
alright. Well, is there a way that we can, prevent this stuff from, like, spreading out to cause more problems? Or controlling it?
we could always Tom was like, well, I could probably take some of it and take all of it and maybe like keep it safe somewhere else.
Its effects may not be able to be felt if it's in a box of holding, since that's an alternate dimension.
I have my own bag for this. Don't worry about it.
I'm just mentioning
This
it.
tomorrow.
Just saying, if putting it in a physical container is not enough, there's always that option.
Alright. You guys work on gathering that stuff. And,
Anyone got a blasting charge? That would be a quick way to effectively. Actually, no, never mind. That's a terrible idea. It would turn it into dust.
then I would suggest all the kobolds that are within this area should leave this area immediately, else they start inhaling the dust.
Well, no. If we did blasting charges, it would pour out into the village. So no.
Do we make a wall?
I
we
meant
can make
not,
a wall.
the wall might also help, but I'm not talking about using a blasting charge. I'm just talking about getting the stuff out in general.
I'd say maybe we wall it off for now and take care of it when we get back, because something tells me we probably should. It's not going to take that. It's going to take a while for any of it to grow if it's a rare material. So I do think it would be something we would have time to if we wall it off for now. Go and take care of our more immediate issue and come back and solve this one.
But like the back for later.
All right. Then wall it off. In the meantime, Avery start putting us in the direction we need to go.
And should it spread like wildfire for some reason, I believe there is an exit to this place further south that may allow you guys to find better reprieve and supplies, as the area around the bridge out there is actually quite nice. It would be a nice place to settle down.
No, kobolds like basically make a wall. Let me put Yura in the.
And the zombies.
Okay. I see the kobold kind of like right here. And as you guys are following Avery. As you're following Avery, give me a perception regarding the ground, like the vibrations.
I rolled a natural 20.
22. I'll get help from Jackson for advantage.
A natural 22.
15.
I got an 18.
Okay. All
I
right.
realize something.
When you realize something, the shifty ground, okay, so where you go? Okay. Everybody passed, and then there was a nat 20, I think.
Yeah, me.
Tivna, you can sense it before anyone, but you can tell this. The shifting, the ground within your feet starts to quake. You notice it first before everyone. You realize that this cave is rumbling from a short earthquake. Anyone else that's it's an earthquake. Earthquake that basically beneath your feet starts to crack slightly, little by little, and eventually you guys also see this too. Give me dexterity save, everyone.
Uh-oh.
I pop off and fly off the floor.
18.
Do I have
Okay.
Nat 20.
Why did I get a nat 1?
Oh, I got nat 20.
I feel bad for Vicky in that nat 1.
Hold on. Is there like a wait? Is there like a feature for a cat?
You mean being let me check.
Maybe you get to use acrobatics to save yourself from this?
You could.
Alright. I guess I'll try acrobatics then.
And again, my question still stands. If I fly,
Hey!
if I fly, do I have to worry about the deck save?
You have to worry about falling rocks.
Yeah. So, you guys.
So yes, I think
you guys
should do a deck save just in case.
Yeah. So as everyone feels the dirt just shift beneath them and start to break, everyone starts to fall.
I pull out umbrella and just Mary Poppins down because of my nat 20.
And down what appears to be about 100 feet off downwards.
I'm only now remembering that I've been holding on to this trench coat of size alteration.
Everyone that didn't pass with that's below a 10 receive.
Oh, I pass.
That much damage. Yeah.
Fall damage,
As you
I'm pretty sure it'd be 10d6s for fall damage. If we're going
Oh,
100
okay.
feet.
That's how many? Okay.
Ooh. Wait.
That's 100, so... Hold on, let me a second.
It's 100 feet down.
Yeah.
That's crazy far of
That's
a
gonna
drop.
be-
because, like,
I was
you
gonna
get
say I don't think a
40
dex save. I don't think dex is stopping that kind of that much fall damage.
You know, but flying.
I do have one solution to my own, at least. Rocket jumping.
Mm-hmm. For every 10 feet, so that's 100. Wait, 10d 10d6.
Yeah,
It's a
10d6.
big number.
That's 10 divided by that's 10 by 6, 16.
If you have more than 60 HP, you should survive this.
Anyone that did a 10 and up is half whatever this is. And then
and
the one
someone
that
who
did
can fly.
not.
It's actually not as. Okay, so that.
Question.
19 for successes.
Wait, question. Does feather fall affect this?
Let me check.
I assume it should, at least for the falling side of it.
Okay.
Fall damage is the only damage we're taking, right?
Yeah, fall damage.
So yeah, feather fall would simply stop the damage.
Yeah.
And because of an
Yours is
20,
a-
actually, I know my solution now. I'm going to pull an MLG Minecraft and put the box of holding with all the soft things under me, so that the box lands, I go into the box and land on all the soft, squishy stuff.
Make sure you don't land on Klein's weapons.
Don't worry. I thought this one through.
Roll me D100
Really?
for that. Yes.
So for people who can fly, we don't take fall damage, right?
Yeah, they don't. Okay. Let me know if you guys are done with the HP stuff. 44. You don't land on any of the sharp objects.
Yay!
Alright, so I'm just gonna
Alright.
cast feather fall.
All right, cool. All right.
I backflip out of the box after all is done. Just
Alrighty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Everyone, also give me a D6.
D6, cool.
Yeah.
Everyone?
Yeah.
I got a
really
new
quick.
one.
I got 2.
3.
Or
That's a even. Okay. This song just starts to play. Just start to play as you guys are falling. That's 2. Let me check the other one. Okay. As you tumble, kind of like a slope downwards, you guys are scattered kind of like everywhere. As you just, it's more darker, and you guys land on some rocky stuff.
Well,
And you do so.
I'm going to light up a torch, since I have tinderbox and torch here. And since...
Let's see what
Okay.
happens. Because Rocky didn't
That's a
say
good
what
idea.
happened.
All right. Oops, my bad.
Why did the boss music start?
No.
You'd like to know.
Sorry, that's the wrong song. Anyways, as you like it sloped downwards, you lead on this like rocky path, and that's what I'm gonna call it for today.
Alright.
Quite dark in there.
Okay.
Alright.
Yeah. Call it for today, and that's the session, guys. That's episode 59.
In 3, 2,